So I've brought the FlightScope down to the driving range and I'm really curious to try it out here and see, do the numbers that the FlightScope give me look like what I see on the driving range? Do they compare well to what I see in the net? And is it easy to set up and use when I'm here? Does it actually help practice on the driving range compared to not having something like a FlightScope? So I'm going to do all of that and then I'm going to head home, I'm going to hit some balls in the net to see how the numbers compare, and I'm going to let you know what I think. One obvious first question is, how easy is it to set up on the range? Well, I've just popped this out of the bag, picked a spot on the driving range, got the golf balls out there, and today I have brought the tape measure to measure out the 8 feet backwards. I think I'm pretty quick at guessing that though. I mean, you can pace out that yourself and get used to what the distance is, but just for the first time I thought I would measure it out. From there, turning on the device and pairing it with the app, you do need to make sure that your angles are correct so that the device itself is set up at the right angle and it's not on too much of a tilt, and after that you're pretty much good to go. So when you get to the range, it's really not a time consuming thing that you might think it would be. You can be set up in under a minute or two and ready to hit golf balls. If we're to jump down and go through the numbers, I'll show you some comparisons that I've pulled up after the sessions. So first up is the sand wedge, and you'll see that the shots that I hit on the driving range and the shots that I hit at home. There's a load of data and I won't go through all of it, but the basic ones for you. The driving range, the average carry was 75.9 yards. Clubhead speed 71.5 miles per hour and the ball speed 65.9 miles per hour. That compares to at home, I was having an average carry of 71.3 yards, clubhead speed 68.1 miles per hour and ball speed 66.6. Straight away, they're very similar numbers for me. Not a robot, so you can't expect it to be exactly the same, but they seem really similar. Next up was the 7-iron. At the driving range, I was having an average carry of 158.4 yards compared to 158 yards at home in the net. Pretty similar. The clubhead speed 84.2 at the range compared to 83.5 miles per hour at home, and the ball speed 113.2 compared to 114. So super similar numbers on the 7-iron, so that gives you a lot of confidence that what you're seeing in the net at home is really similar to what you're actually doing if you're on the range or on a golf course. With the 5-iron, I wasn't hitting it great, sort of slapping it down the range a little bit. The carry distance I was seeing at the range, according to the FlightScope, 172.5 yards average. That was quite different to the 188 yard average that I was getting at home. Clubhead speed, super similar, 88.8 miles per hour compared to 88, and ball speed 123.5 on the range versus 125.5 at home in the net. Did feel like I was hitting better swings in the net at home. I was not hitting it great on the range. To be honest, I probably think I'm somewhere in between. So I would probably think I would expect the carry there to be around 180 at the moment, not having playing too much. So interesting. I was gonna hit driver, but this fella that was over there, that's the pro. He very quickly informed me that you weren't allowed to hit drivers or woods. So that'll have to be another day. And I hit some gap wedges, and that was because I'm pretty comfortable that I have a 100-yard shot with the gap wedge. And here we go. So the gap wedge on the driving range averaged 96.6 yards carry. At home in the net, 95.6 yards carry. And I hit quite a lot of shots there, so I'm pretty comfortable with that. They seem like pretty consistent numbers for me. The clubhead speed really similar, 77.1 miles per hour compared to 76.1, and the ball speed not too dissimilar either. There'll be people out there that are really into the numbers with the golf shots. They've used TrackMan before, used FlightScope before, other devices out there, and they'll know a lot more than I do about the spin numbers and the different things. That's something that I'm excited to learn about by having a FlightScope and to see whether that can help me with my practice. Where I'm at right now is I'm quite straightforward in what I'm looking for. When I see the ball in the air, I like to see quite straight shots. When I'm hitting or practicing, I don't like many swing thoughts. And so really for me, I don't want anything that's going to overcomplicate things. And what I'm looking for in the FlightScope right now is, sure, I want to learn about some of those other things, but I just really want numbers, flight shapes that I can trust. So for me, it's given me a lot of confidence in the device that what I would do if I was, unrestricted ball flight down the range, I'm going to see very similar results on the app when I'm hitting balls in the net. And that's the great thing for me, because I don't have that much time, and if I can save time getting to the driving range by just hitting balls in the net at home, I'm going to get more practice in than otherwise, and I'm going to think I can work on my game more. Everything that I've seen with the FlightScope in the first few weeks of owning it, I've been impressed with, and I'm more and more impressed every time I use it. I've said in a previous video, but I got it from the Net Return Australia. That's where I got my net and practice things for the garden as well. Highly recommend those guys. If you have any questions, definitely get in touch with them. I can really vouch for them. There's still a lot that I need to do with it. If there's things that you'd like me to test in particular, feel free to jump down into the comments and let me know. More than happy to look into that. Also, if you want to see the video I did of the first week owning it, so the first setup, everything like that, getting used to it, seeing what comes with it, I'll put that link up onto the screen. Definitely go and check that one out.